I know we have a lot of awards to get to, but Katie Rose did ask me to talk a little bit about the experience of broadcasting a World Series. And as John said, the Major League broadcast announcer's dream is to call the final out of a World Series. And last year, the Royals got to Game 7 of the World Series and they lost to the Giants. And I must have been asked 100 times, what do you remember the most about the World Series? And I'm sure I'll be asked, 1,000,000 times with the Royals winning it this year, what do I remember the most about the Royals winning the World Series? And the answer is really the same, 2014 and 2015. And I mean this sincerely. I mean, there were so many wonderful plays, there has to be, to win a World Series. But I will always remember the crowds. I will remember what the Royals winning did for Kansas City, and what it did for the region, and what it did for the state of Missouri. After all, the two best teams in the major leagues were in Missouri. Royals had the best record in the American League, and the Cardinals had the best record in the major leagues. Royals won the World Series, however. I'm from Los Angeles. Thank you. Which is a small village in California. So I was not born and bred with this rivalry with St. Louis. I enjoy going to St. Louis. So my apologies to the Kansas City natives. I do enjoy the times that we go to the other side of the state and beat the Cardinals. But I'll say this about this Royals team, and it's not just because they won the World Series last year and they went to the World Series, or they won the World Series this year and went to the World Series last year. But maybe a lot of Kansas Cityans can relate to this. I've never seen a connection between a city and a team. This was my 17th year last year in Kansas City, and there was just such an emotional connection between the fans and the players and the players and the fans, and I think it makes sense. The Royals team is mostly homegrown as far as players from their farm system, and they truly are a team. And I think it's appropriate that I bring up this quote, and I don't know why this quote isn't used more often with sports, and maybe I'm biased because it comes from Harry Truman, but President Truman had a great line. It said, "It's amazing what you can accomplish if you don't care who gets all the credit." And that really kind of sums up who the Royals were and are. If you were at the parade or watching it on TV, Royals have an outfielder named Johnny Gomes. And Johnny Gomes kind of stole the show. I started as the MC, I didn't finish as the MC. For those of you who didn't see, Johnny Gomes, he's a wonderful human being. He has a great story. When he was a little kid, he survived being attacked by a wolf. When he was in high school, he survived a car accident which claimed the lives of 2 of his friends. When he was 22, he had a heart attack. And it seems like everywhere he goes, championships follow. So we don't really know a lot about Johnny Gomes. And his face, he looks like, like a booking photo from a guy who's just been arrested. But he's a very thoughtful guy. So Johnny Gomes gets on the stage, and he made this great speech, which I think kind of sums up the Royals. And he said, with his teammates behind him on the stage in front of 800,000 people, he said, "The American League Rookie of the Year, not on this team, but we beat him." The crowd went crazy. "The American League Cy Young winner, not on this team, but we beat him too." The crowd gets louder. "The American League Most Valuable Player, we beat him too, not on this team." And the crowd just went nuts. And I was thinking about this on the drive in. In the state of Missouri, we don't have an ocean, we don't have a Grand Canyon, we don't have a Golden Gate Bridge, we don't have majestic mountains, we don't have a Times Square. But I really feel like, and again, I'm a transplant, when it comes to quality of people and quality of life, we beat them. Didn't we? So, and I'm not running for anything, by the way, but that kind of, if I ever do, that was a pretty good speech, wasn't it? Okay. But anyway, and it comes all full circle to you. I turn it over to you now. I imagine that most people in the room tonight are homegrown, and with some people coming in from the outside, like myself. But here we are, we're all gathered here tonight because it is amazing what we can accomplish when nobody cares who gets the credit. So thank you for all that you do. I'm a very proud Missourian.